Hey guys, don't need to tell you that everything's getting real dicey out there. And if you didn't think it was totally the time level, if you really think about it, he's been doing this for so long as far as creating chaos every day, that it feels like it's a year ago that Venezuela happened. It's only a week or so ago, right? Then he comes in, the girl gets shot, murdered, and it just keeps rolling. And now they're going in heavier. They've moved in more officers, and they're going door to door just like the Nazis did. Just the same damn thing. And they're keeping us, in a state of friggin' panic, frustration, anger, fear. I got to tell you, I'm feeling it. Just watching the feed from the internet, and I'm seeing it. I'm going, my God. To think that anything like this could have ever happened in America. This used to be America that stood for values that were so, we stood as a beacon on the hill. That's what we always thought of ourselves, right? And this one man has turned our country into a fascist state and getting to be just like Hitler. They're following the same thing. I don't know if you've seen some of these videos where Noam was up there on the pedestal and talking at the podium, and the podium had a statement coming from the Nazis. All right, they're moving all the propaganda into their lexicon and into their presentations. They're not hiding anything. They're coming straight at it as Nazis, right? And one guy on the bullhorn the other day that was yelling at the crowd and just trying to piss him off and trying to instigate him, total Nazi. And the guys were standing behind him. ICE was standing behind him like he was just part of one of them, right? And totally not saying a word about him doing it, not saying anything, and letting him do it. It was like he was on their side of the fence, right? And then it told you everything you needed to know. We're a bunch of Nazis, and this is a Nazi that we put out front. He doesn't have a mask face on, does he? And but he's saying the rhetoric that he was saying, the pure, it just drives me nuts. You know what I mean? We're in a state now that's, like I said, it's affecting me. I'm starting to feel like, you start to lose hope. You start to figure out, okay, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay my bills when the economy's so bad? Nobody's coming in. I train dogs. And usually I get 3-4 dogs a month. Not lately. Not over the last 3 or 4 months, because the economy's getting so bad. Everybody's trying to hang on and trying to survive. That means that money is going into food and insurance and the things that they need to support their families. And the last thing you're going to pay for is dog training. Right? And all the dog trainers are all out there acting like me, like nothing's going on. And we're all trying to pretend like nothing's happening, right? Let's just have a normal day and nothing's happening out there. But on the internet, you see it everywhere. It's nothing but chaos caused by this one man, right? And he's threatening all our neighbors. This is a total move towards fascism, towards Nazism, right? But in reality and truth, it's going to cause our country to get burned down to the ground. That's what Putin wants. He's Putin's puppet, and he's been doing this negativity to our country and our whole way of our government, everything, tearing it apart, burning it to the ground, right? Tearing apart all our institutions, taking everything. They've been raping the till, I guarantee you. The money that we would find gone, and what happened is we dig in there. If we ever get a chance to get another election, I don't think we're going to get another election, to be honest with you. The way they're acting, they're going to try to make sure that we get mad, and they're going to declare martial law. They're going to put their thumbs and their feet on our neck, right? Just like Floyd, right? But it's going to be on America's neck overall. Be a great cartoon for an artist. It's the same thing that happened to Floyd, the officer on his neck. This is the government on our neck. Right? No longer to be America, that we had the values of freedom and everything, our checks and balance system and everything we did to have 250 years of a glorious country, right? That stood for something around the world, the values, the morals, the ethics that we stood for around the world. And now the man in office, the one that's doing this, he only cares about one thing, his morality. And where does that go? Where does that? It says it all, doesn't it? His morality and pedophilia and everything else that he's been involved with, his attitude of greed, fraud, everything else that he does. Yeah, great country, right? And then he's got the balls to go after Iran and say he's going to go in there because their country is not doing good. And it's all about the oil. It's about power, right? Something else, and then their country is doing bad, so the people start clamoring and screaming out in their country, so now you have riots over there as well. This world is going up in a friggin' ball of flame, and I don't have an answer. I hope our leaders do. I hope that there's smarter people out there that can pull this together. I will say one thing. My biggest concern right now is what they do to our communication. They pull down the internet, and they're going to, right? And then pretty soon we can't communicate with each other. We can't talk to each other. We're going to have to get real crafty and go underground, period. All you guys that are out there doing the protesting, you know it better than we do, right? You're dealing with the real world out there. You're going to have to communicate in ways that are beneficial to you and take everything underground as far as an underground movement that stays on top of this, right? Because without that, we're really screwed, but there's always a resistance and underground in America, all the more so, right? So if you got something going on, nothing's hot and heavy here right now, but it's going to be. He's going to start doing this everywhere. He's moving in large troops and amounts of troops into that area. He's going to do the same thing into other areas, and it's going to be like a blitzkrieg, right? Just like the Germans did. Come in hot, heavy, and really strong, and plow through that whole area. And that's what he's going to start moving that to another place, to another place. He's going to keep just demoralizing and taking away hope, taking away, And when he does that, we start doing the same thing the Germans did. What did they do? Apathy, right? Apathy and just going along with it because they had no other choice, right? And that's what's happening here. They want to get to that point where apathy sets in and we just start saying, sir, yes, sir, because we don't have any other choice, right? He's taken our values away from us to the point where we don't even want to fight anymore because it's futile, right? That's what he's trying to create, is take our hope away. Take away the futility of it to a point where we all just start getting apathetic and going along with the program, right? Scary times in America, of all fucking places. Just amazing that anything would, I didn't get to live through it, did I? I got born into shit. I'm going to go out the same way. Talk to you guys later. I wish I had some hopeful things to tell you. I wish I had, anger and vehemence and all that we see. Most of the posts that are going viral right now are all basically people that are screaming and yelling, right? They're the ones that are getting the attention because that anger is what people are noticing because it's only natural, right? I want to scream and yell myself, but it doesn't do us any good. I don't have an answer. That's my hardest problem. I'm hoping that our leadership can find answers. I'm hoping people like Black Man Spy, Malcolm Nance, and people that really have the experience. And then there's another one that's running around that's backing the vets, right? I'm hoping that these people, that sort of people, can back up and help and train the civilians so that we can fight to the best of our ability and go underground, right? Our communication's got to go underground because nothing on the internet's safe, guys. We can't talk out in the open anymore because they're going to use all the computerization and everything to start really coming after even us on the internet, right? I feel scared. I feel like, oh God, can't even say anything negative. Don't have the right to my freedom of speech anymore because they're going to come down with a friggin' and put a boot on my neck, right? So it's not an easy answer. I wish I had an easy answer. Everybody wants to back up to the judicial system and all our politicians on Capitol Hill trying to state this isn't legal, this isn't legal, this is, but they're not getting any backing from any of the courts as far as the Supreme Court and any of that. And the Republicans are going along with them until they realize that they're not even safe, right? Tyrants and bullies don't give a shit about you. They care about money in their pocket and a transactional, what's happening right now type of thing, right? In other words, we do this, we get this, right? What did he do to Venezuela, right? And now he's slowly moving that in, right? And then they do things in such half-hazarded ways that they look like stupid idiots, but it's working. We are being cowed. We are being put down, slow but sure, right? So Godspeed, everybody. All I can say is keep your chin up because it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And send me a private message if you got anything going on that's going to be worthwhile here in California. If I can even leave where I'm at, I'm way out in the boonies and I feel safe out here because nothing's happening around me. But right when I start driving into town, I start worried about getting pulled over. I mean, your trust to the law enforcement in general, the regular law enforcement we have, it's like, oh shit, the fear that goes into your heart, because of what's happening right now. And then the lack, it just blows my mind. Scary times, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.